Number 1, who am I and why do I think I can help you? Well, my name is Mike and I'm a full-time SAT tutor. I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I make my living tutoring high school kids in the SAT, and I make sure that to keep myself honest, I take the test from time to time. As you can see, I've been taking the SAT for quite some time. These are all the old format tests, where I would usually get a 1600, although sometimes I would make a careless mistake and get a 1590. I've also taken the new format SAT, and as you can see here, I got a 2400 in June. The point of this is, I take my job. Number 3, you're going to need to take practice tests because the proof is in the practice test. What this means is, you can feel as comfortable as you want working through the math problems as you watch these videos, but if you can't apply it to real-world situations, and you can't apply it to actual practice tests, then it's not really benefiting your SAT score at all. So, take practice tests. Number 4, experiment and go with what works. This just means that you should constantly be trying out new methods and new ways to approach things, but you should also be keeping track of what works for you and what doesn't. If you find that a particular trick or technique or whatever works really well for you, then you should continue to use it, and you should study it and review it, go over it, so that you're comfortable using it. But the point is, you should experiment. What is the SAT and what is it not? Well, the SAT is a test of your ability to write an essay on a topic that you haven't seen before in a given time limit. It's also a test of some of your basic math skills that you've obtained in high school. It's also a test of your ability to locate and correct grammatical errors. And it's also a test of your vocabulary and your reading ability. So it sounds pretty comprehensive, but all of these areas are different things that we can work on. What is it not? The one thing that the SAT is not is it's not a test of your intelligence. If someone does better than you on the SAT, it doesn't. Number 7, how is the test formatted? Well, we can see that there's one 25-minute essay, and that is the first section of any SAT. Then there are 6 25-minute sections that follow the essay section. Now, I've written them as 2 25-minute math sections, 2 25-minute reading sections, 1 25-minute miscellaneous section, and 1 25-minute writing section, but they don't necessarily go in this order. The 25-minute sections can really go in any order. Now, what is this miscellaneous section that doesn't count? Well, in order for the people who write the test, who are called ETS, to determine which questions they should put on next year's test, they need to test those questions out this year. So they give you one extra 25-minute section that doesn't count toward your score. This section is called the experimental or equating section. Now, although this section doesn't count toward your score, ETS doesn't tell you which section this is. So you really need to work on all of the sections of the SAT as if all of them counted, even though one of them doesn't count. Since you don't know which section that is when you're taking the test, you really need to devote your full energy to all of the sections. After we get through the 6 25-minute multiple choice sections, we have 120